Okay, I got a question for you. I saw this on social media the other day. If I gave you 5 squads and all of these players are healthy, all of these players are in their prime, talking multiple superstars, multiple Hall of Famers, everybody's at the best of their ability. If I gave you the 04 Lakers, the 2011 Celtics, the 2012 Thunder, 2018 Cavs, and the 2019 Warriors, how would you rank those 5 squads? Like, everybody's healthy, all in their primes. Who would be the best out of those 5 teams? That's when you really think about that and look at these lineups. That's a tough choice, man. On this journey, I'm gonna go ahead and step away from the reality of the NBA and college basketball. We're gonna play a little fantasy right now. We're gonna go deep into the mind of the hypothetical to see which one of these 5 squads would truly be the best if everybody's healthy and everyone's in their prime. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Journey of a Ballaholic, the best talk show for basketball addicts. I'm your host, General Hannibal X. Now, in this journey, once again, we're going to be breaking down 5 teams from the past. 5 teams that had multiple superstars on it. And we're going to put every one of these players in their prime. For instance, a team like the 2011-2012 Thunder, right? They had James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Kendrick Perkins. But that team, when they played, those guys were young. Like, Harden won an MVP, Russ won an MVP, Durant won an MVP, but those guys were young when they played together. Let's imagine like an Olympic type team where all of these guys are playing together in their primes. So we're gonna do the same thing for every one of these 5 squads. And I'm gonna give you my rankings on how I would rank these 5, but then also I asked this question on social media and got some answers. I'm gonna show you what the community, what the Ballaholic community thinks as well, and how they rank these 5. And I want to know in the comment section from you, who do you think would be the best? Who would be the best of these 5 squads in your opinion, and how would you rank these 5, top to bottom? Once again, the 5 teams we're gonna look at are the 04 Lakers, the 2011 Celtics, the 2012 Thunder, the 2018 Cavs, and the 2019 Warriors. These are the 5 squads. Now, when I break these teams down, first off, let's be fairly honest. There's some guys that belong, and there's some guys that don't belong in this conversation. For instance, on the Lakers, they've got Devin George in this. So I understand, you know, he's the weak link of that crew. You know, look at a team like the Cavs. You know, Tristan Thompson's the weak link of that crew. Every team has a weak link, right? So we can kind of dismiss the weak link and let's just start at the top and let's kind of work our way down and really look at how these squads match up against each other. When I look at that, the oldest team, the team that's furthest away, the 2004 Lakers, that's a heck of a squad, bro. When you think about prime Shaq, prime Karl Malone, prime Gary Payton, and prime Kobe, ooh, that's scary. That's scary. Just like I said, with the Cavs, that 2018 Cavs team, they didn't live up nowhere near to what they should have been. But imagine having Derrick Rose running the point in his prime. We're talking MVP before the knee injury, Derrick Rose. And you got him setting coming off that screen set by Kevin Love, who's picking and popping. You got LeBron on one wing and Dwayne Wade on the other wing. That's sickening, man. Or you got Tristan Thompson setting that screen with Kevin Love spacing the floor in the corner. I like what I see from the dynamic athletic ability of that Cavs team. I like the Rose Wade LeBron combo. That's sickening. That's sickening. Even when you look at a team like the Boston Celtics, imagine that 2011 Celtic team where you got a prime Shaq. We're not talking about that old ring chasing Shaq. We're talking about prime Shaquille the Diesel O'Neal. And he's got the big ticket beside him, KG. a defensive guru, defensive player of the year. And then he's got shooters all around him. Remember, Shaq dominated on the box, so KG would have to play that high post, and you got shooters all around. Ray Allen over here, Paul Pierce over there. Prime Ray Allen. Not just catch and shoot Ray Allen, prime Ray Allen. Paul Pierce, the truth. And then you got Rondo orchestrating it all. Now, prime Rondo still is not a great shooter, but he can defend and he can pass. That's a beastly squad. And the one team I haven't even talked about yet is the Golden State Warriors. Oh, man. The Golden State Warriors all in their prime. So basically, we've seen Steph Curry in his prime, Klay Thompson in his prime, Draymond in his prime, Kevin Durant. We've seen these guys in their prime. They won back-to-back championships. But imagine adding not a DeMarcus Cousins coming off an injury. Not that DeMarcus Cousins. We're talking about a prime Sacramento DeMarcus Cousins. A DeMarcus Cousins who was with the Pelicans before his ACL injury. That DeMarcus Cousins, who arguably, in my opinion, was the best center in the NBA at that time. Imagine that DeMarcus Cousins joining the 73-win Warriors that also added Kevin Durant. That's tough, bro. That when you start really comparing these things, like for instance, if you're comparing the 04 Lakers to the 2011 Celtics, so Shaq is on both of those teams. So that's a wash. So you're pretty much looking at the other four players because he's on both of those squads. You feel me? The same thing with the Thunder versus the Warriors. Kevin Durant's on both of those teams. So you're pretty much removing the Durant factor and looking at the other players that are on the other four players on those squads. And when I break it down like that, I start trying to set up matchups as far as, okay, well, Derrick Rose for the Cavs would be at the point. Rondo for the Celtics would be here. We really haven't even factored in James Harden, who is in his prime now. Imagine that James Harden, the James Harden who's putting up 38, 39 points, just unstoppable scoring machine, putting him besides Kevin Durant, the Durantula, 7-foot, easy money sniper, hit you from anywhere, and Mr. Triple-Double Russell Westbrook. Now, the weak link of that OKC team is the Serge Ibaka and the Kendrick Perkins. Solid defenders. Even Ibaka was, a much above average defender, all defensive level type defender. But Perkins is a weak link here. Okay, he's a weak link. And as much as I like James Harden and the Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook trio, having Serge and Kendrick Perkins is too much of a weak link in comparison to these other squads, right? But I like that trio so much that it's hard to put them last, or because I'm gonna go from worst to best. So to me, I wrestle between the OKC Thunder and the Cavs for that last spot. The Cavs, like I said, the Rose factor, that prime Rose versus prime Westbrook. That's a heck of an athletic matchup. The two most athletic point guards we've ever seen. That to me is almost a wash, right? That's kind of a wash there. Both MVPs, right? They just do it in different ways. I don't know. The Kevin Love, I give Kevin Love an advantage over the Serge Ibaka. Tristan Thompson, Perkins, that's kind of a wash. You maybe even favor Tristan Thompson for his rebounding. Then you got the LeBron and the Wade versus the Durant and the Harden. I gotta go with the Cavs over the Thunder. So the Thunder come in as the fifth team on my list, the worst team of these five on the list. The Cavs, I got them at 4. And I'm going to tell you why I put the Cavs at 4 over who I have at number 3. For me, the third team on this list is another team that has somewhat of a weakness, somewhat of a just kind of a guy who just doesn't truly belong. And that's the 2011 Celtics. I put the Celtics third, and I'm going to tell you why. Here's why I put them over the Cavs. Number one, I like Rondo, but he is the weak link on that Celtic team. And his inability to shoot, especially we're talking about prime Rondo, his inability to shoot going up against Derrick Rose, even though Rondo could defend, he couldn't guard that MVP level Derrick Rose. But you're talking prime LeBron with prime Wade, right? How does Tristan Thompson match up with prime Shaq? Kevin Love, Kevin Garnett, the big men just favored the Celtics. KG, Shaq, I gotta put those guys over that Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love front court that the Cavs had. That back court, like I say, it favors, the perimeter definitely favors the Cavs with LeBron, Wade, and Rose. But the Celtics aren't bad. When you're talking about prime Ray Allen, for those that remember, Mr. Jesus Shuttlesworth, the Milwaukee version of Ray Allen, not the OKC, the Seattle Supersonic Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. I think Shaq is just too much. I think Shaq is just too much for Tristan Thompson. That's an absolute mismatch. And the KG and the Kevin Love, that's another mismatch. LeBron is a mismatch for Paul Pierce. We've seen that in real life. But prime Paul Pierce, prime LeBron is no matchup. Prime Ray Allen, prime Dwayne Wade, I'm still favoring Wade. But that Derrick Rose factor over Rondo, even though Rose is better than Rondo, I think that Rondo's ability to, on this five, to set everybody up, to get the easy buckets for the Ray Allen, for the Paul Pierce, I got to go with the Celtics here. So that leaves the Celtics at 3 with the last two squads. And this to me was the toughest one to decipher between who was the best 2019 Warriors versus the 04 Lakers. Once again, I know I'm biased. I'm a Laker fan, so I know that I'm biased. That's why I had to ask the community. I had to ask the Ballaholic community, what's your take on it? How do you decipher between who would be the best of these five? Once again, if we're looking at who has a weakness, the Lakers have the one guy who you can say is a weakness of this matchup. Devin George just does not belong in this conversation. The Warriors don't have anybody like that. From Curry to Clay to Draymond Green is basically their worst player. And he was an all-star, a defensive player of the year, a guy who could set up the offense, play tough defense. But he would be matched up against Karl Malone. He would be matched up against the mailman. And if you don't remember the Karl Malone's game, the pick and roll with him and John Stockton was elite. And I think Gary Payton would be able to run that same pick and roll with Karl Malone and the glove, who is the best defensive point guard the NBA has ever seen, guarding Steph Curry, who's the greatest shooter the point guard position, or not just point guard, the NBA has ever seen. That's a good matchup. I favor Curry in that matchup, but that's a very, very good matchup. Prime Kobe versus prime Clay. He's an all-league defender, but he has no chance with Kobe. Like, we're talking prime Kobe, right? We're talking, I'll drop 81 on your head, Kobe. Clay can't match up with that. He can't match up with that. But here's the problem. Devin George is that weak link for that Laker team. And if he is having to guard Kevin Durant at 7 feet tall, he's shooting over top of him. Kevin Durant is dunking on him. He's destroying him. That Golden State team had 5 All-Stars on it. I think you have to go back to like the 60 Celtics for another team that legitimately had 5 All-Stars on it. The one thing that made it, like I said, that kind of made that real life team not be truly unbeatable was the fact that DeMarcus Cousins was coming off an injury. But even a healthy prime DeMarcus Cousins, he's no answer for prime Shaq. I'm talking that 2000, 2001 Shaq. That Shaq that would go to the finals and give you 40 and 20, 35 and 15. That Shaq. Cousins can't deal with that, man. I've seen some of the best big men, best defenders. I've seen David Robinson and Ben Wallace and Tim Duncan and Dikembe Mutombo try to guard Shaq, and they couldn't stop Shaq. Truthfully, not prime Shaq. DeMarcus Cousins has no chance. But I'm biased. I can admit that. So I'm favoring the Lakers in this one. My team if I'm putting everybody in their prime, Karl Malone and Shaq on that front court is too much. That's just too much for any team. And then the defense that Kobe and Gary Payton, a lot of people may not know this. Kobe and Gary Payton have the most all defensive first teams in NBA history. Like, of everybody. They're up there with the Jordan and the KG. Like, they're that type level defenders. So I'm going with the Lakers, but I want to know from you, who would you choose if it's not the Warriors or if it's not the Lakers? Maybe you're going with the Celtics. Not only let me know who you choose. Tell me why. I want to hear why you choose this team over that team, or just give me your rankings. Go down to the comment section below and let me know. As always, I appreciate you for taking a look at this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you're interested. If you like these types of videos that I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, share it with your friends, and make sure you tap that notification bell so that you can stay updated with the journey of a Ballaholic.